Good morning. Thank you for joining me in this morning mindfulness practice. Do you have dreams? Do you have visions? Do you have a goal? Do you have something that you truly desire? Sometimes we want something so badly, and maybe we tell another person and they laugh at us, they criticize us, they say that's stupid, or why would you want that? When you have a big dream, don't tell your big dream to small-minded people because they will laugh, they will criticize because they don't have faith. They don't have the understanding that what you hold in your heart, what you want with all your might is what you will create. It might be a hard path, it might take a long time, but you should never talk yourself out of a big dream, or certainly don't let anyone else talk you out of it, because people that love you, they think they know what's best for you, but only you and God know your path, what's best for you. And if you don't follow your heart, you don't follow your dreams, you're going to end up miserable and playing small, just like the rest of the world. Do you know that there is 1% of the population, no, 3%, that has 97% of the wealth? That's because they don't believe in limits. They just know what they want and go out and get it. Now, some people have the belief that wealthy people are greedy, selfish, they take advantage of people. But that's not necessarily true. Some of the most some of the wealthiest people in the world are the ones who give the most, who are the kindest, who help create hospitals and food banks and schools and opportunities for people who never would have had the opportunity without their help. You might be comfortable. You might think that you have enough, that you're good, that you have more than most people. But how much more could you do for your family, for your church, for your charity, for the world, if you earned more? And I'm not talking about working double time, overtime, and spending all your time working and earning money. I'm talking about allowing things to flow, to be easy, to have passive income or multiple sources of income, money just flowing to you because you had an idea, because you created something that the world needs. You invented something, you solved a problem. I just heard a story that kind of shocked me, but it's like, yeah, that's how most of the people really think. I'm just going to tell you this story the best that I remember it. I believe the man's name is Monty Robertson, and I heard this story from a preacher, Terry Seville, and she said there was a poor boy who lived in the back country, and his dad raised horses, and they were very, very, very poor. And one day the teacher asked the class to write out what you want to be when you grow up. What is a vision you have for your future? What's your hopes and dreams for when you grow up? What do you want to be? So Monty wrote that he wanted to raise horses, but unlike his dad raising regular horses, he wanted to raise thoroughbred race horses, and he wanted to be very wealthy. and he drew a picture of a racetrack and all kinds of things that would go along with the racetrack. And he drew what he imagined his life would be like. And he was so proud of his picture, his essay, and he handed it in. And when he got it back, he was shocked. The teacher wrote on the paper, F, see me after class. So he went to the teacher after class and asked why he got an F, and she said, Monty, you are a poor boy. You're living in the back of a truck. Poor boys don't grow up to be wealthy. This is unrealistic. There's no way this goal is ever going to happen. Go home and rewrite it. Give me a realistic goal, that what you want to be when you grow up, and I'll change your grade. Well, Monty went home devastated, and he told his dad, and he didn't know what to do. And his dad said, I can't tell you what to do, but whatever you decide will affect the rest of your life. Well, Monty thought about that, and he went back to school the next day, and he told the teacher, you keep the F, I'm keeping my dream. And he grew up to raise thoroughbred horses and become wealthy, respected in the community, and he has that picture framed in his mansion. And I heard that one year he earned $6 million. Do not let anyone talk you out of your dreams, whether it's your parents, your teachers, society, your best friend, or your spouse. Whatever picture you hold in your heart, if you have a vision, it was placed there by God. That's meant for you. You just need to strengthen your faith and go out and do what you would be doing if that vision was true. That story just really resonated with me, because how many people have grown up being born into families that are on welfare, and 3, 4, 5, 6 generations of people living on welfare, because that's what they know, that's what they learned, that's what they believe, and so that's what they become. What if you decided you're going to break the pattern? You're going to change your family. You're going to change what your family accepts. You are worthy of whatever you desire. You were created in God's image. You have this, you were born with the same amount of faith as everyone else in the world, and all you have to do is develop it, just like your muscles. Babies are all born with the same muscles, but you can grow up and be a bodybuilder or a weak little thing, depending on how you've developed those muscles. And you can develop your faith little by little every day, believing, studying, understanding, growing and developing your strength, your muscles, your faith. We all have been gifted with the intellectual faculties of perception, how we look at the world, what we believe about ourselves, whether we think we can or we think we can't, we're right. So if you develop your faith, you understand that whatever obstacles or challenges you face in life are not there to stop you. They are to strengthen your resolve, to strengthen your faith. The more you overcome, the stronger you become. And when you have a vision that is big and bold, and it doesn't match what's going on in the outside world, then don't tell other people about it. Just believe it, work at it, think about it, and become that. And then you can show the world what you've done. Don't talk about it, just become it. You have a will. That means you can hold your mind on a picture of what you truly desire and spend some time envisioning it, holding the picture on the screen of your mind, but not just seeing it, being part of the picture, getting into the scene as if you're playing a part in a movie. You become what you think about all day long. We create what we envision, and we give meaning to how we understand situations. Imagine if Monty had changed his dream and gone back to school and said, yeah, I'm just gonna raise regular horses like my dad and be poor the rest of my life and raise children who are in poverty. And we only deserve to barely make ends meet. Some people have a vision for millions of dollars, and some people have a vision just to put gas in the tank. Where are you placing your faith? Don't tell your big problems to small minds. Tell your big problems to God, and He will make them small in your life. You have been gifted with reason. You can think, you can dream, but don't think logically about your dream. Because if you think logically, you're going to try and fit it into a box. You're going to try and fit it into current circumstances. And that's not how the world changes. You don't change current circumstances by revolving around what is or what was. You must think big, dream big, and go out and take some action. What seems illogical, once it's completed, is, oh yeah, that did work. You can't see how it's going to happen until it happens. And then you can look back and see all the different things that had to happen, all the steps that were taken, some seemingly insignificant and some leaps. When you take a leap of faith, you change your world, and change starts within. So you have to decide what it is that you truly desire. What would that be like? How great would that be? And then don't let other people talk you out of it. Don't hold yourself back because you want to fit in. Stand out and be what you really want. That's how the world changes. And you know, the world is, everything is constantly changing. Everything is constantly in motion. But when we think about the same lack and limitations and problems, change just keeps going around and recreating similar outcomes. You want to decide what you want. And as you sit calmly and quietly and clear your mind, then you allow new ideas to come in. You get impulses, get a little voice of your own intuition telling you to do something. And your intuition is your higher self speaking to you. It's telling you to do something or don't do something. Your intuition is more than your gut instinct. It's more than a sixth sense, but it can be developed. Notice if you think about someone, they might call you. You say, "Oh, I was just thinking about you." You can develop your intuition and trust it. You have a beautiful imagination. Some people's imaginations have been stunted by people telling them, quit dreaming, quit fantasizing, put away those childhood dreams and pay attention and do what's right, what's real, what's here, what's logical. Well, if people like Walt Disney put away their imaginations, we never would have some of the wonderful creations, the music, the parks, the beautiful buildings and sculptures and artwork. We never would have gone into space or created airplanes or gigantic ships or some of the engineering feats if we didn't strengthen our imaginations. And you have a memory. Most people have lovely memories and horrible memories, and we tend to hold on to those strong bad memories because they had such an emotional impact on us, and we don't want to experience that pain again. But as we focus on the past memory and the pain, that we bring that into our current feeling and into our mind, and we relive it, we recreate it, because what we think about, we bring about. So the more you focus on the pain and problems, the more you notice pain and problems and scarcity and limitations. The key is to decide what you really want and focus on how you would feel if having something different would make you feel happier, healthier, wealthier, stronger, more respected, more confident. Whatever it is, what you desire desires you. That might sound a little bit funny, but instead of focusing on what you don't want, let go of that and spend some time quietly focused on what you do want. How great you will feel. And feeling is the secret. If you have something that you want more than anything, when you get into the feeling that it's already yours, it's already done, that starts to have every cell of your being moving with excitement, moving in a higher vibrational energy. And the higher vibrational energy attracts what's in harmony. It attracts like energy. So you actually start to attract nicer people, better circumstances. You attract the money, the resources, whatever it is you require for your dream to manifest in physical reality. I'm going to read you a little story called The Rules for Being Human. You will receive a body. You may like it or hate it, but it will be yours for this time around. You will learn lessons. You are enrolled in a full-time informal school called life. Each day in this school, you will have the opportunity to learn lessons. You may like the lessons or think them irrelevant or stupid. There are no mistakes, only lessons. When I was a kid, I didn't believe that. I didn't think of it as lessons. I thought of it as failures. And that kind of stunted my growth. It made me think that I wasn't good enough. Well, if we believe that we are created in God's image and we can do, be, or have anything we want, there are no limits, then we must recognize growth is a process of trial and error, experimentation. The failed experiments are as much a part of the process as the experiment that ends up working. It doesn't matter if you're 6 years old or 66 years old. Don't look at it as a failure and a reason to stop. Look at it as an experiment, trial and error. That didn't work. And as you keep learning, you keep growing and changing. And a lesson is repeated until it is learned. A lesson will be presented to you in various forms until you have learned it. When you have learned it, you can then go on to the next lesson. Learning lessons does not end. There is no part of life that does not contain lessons. If you are alive, there are lessons to be learned. Think about the people who continue to replay the old story, the old patterns. They're fighting the lessons. They're not learning and growing. They they keep being presented with the same lesson, and because they haven't learned it and grown, they keep replaying the same old story, the patterns that keep them stuck. And then they wonder why life is so hard, because they are resisting and pushing against what they need to understand. This little article, Rules for Being Human, says, "There is no better place than here. When your there has become here, you will simply obtain another there that will again look better than here." What that means is, as you contemplate what you want and you think it's going to be better in the future, you work towards that. And when you attain that goal and you enjoy what it is you've created, now you want something more, something better, something different. And that's not greedy and selfish, which is what I grew up believing. That is the spiritual side of you wanting to express more, wanting to live more life, wanting to become more. The spiritual side of you is always for expansion and further expression. What you wanted when you were a little kid, maybe you've already attained it, and now you want something else. Don't be jealous or resentful or disappointed. Go out and get it. And then when you have it, you'll simply want more. And that's the God spark of energy in you, wanting to create a better world, wanting to be more. And think about this next line. Others are merely mirrors of you. You cannot love or hate something about another person unless it reflects to you something you love or hate about yourself. What's going on in your mind that's making you want to push another person away or change them, something you hate about them? If you think about it, maybe you have those similar qualities that others see in you that you might not even recognize. You might have weaknesses that you want to change. Well, the more you focus on your strengths, the more you focus on your victories, how wonderful life is, your heart will open up and you will naturally change and become a better version of yourself. What you see in others is what you see in yourself. What you make of life is up to you. You have all the tools and resources you need. What you do with them is up to you. The choice is yours. The answers lie inside you. All you need to do is look, listen, and trust. You can override the old programming that was instilled in you as a child by building up your faith, by studying, by understanding, by gaining more knowledge. Practice focusing on sitting still, feeling the state of well-being, feeling at ease. And as you allow energy to flow to and through you, you start to get better ideas. They start to match the vision that you have created, that goal that you truly desire. And the next step is to take action. You're thinking from the goal already accomplished, thinking, feeling, and acting as if it's already done. And pretty soon that will be the life that you experience. Look for the good in everything, the problems, the challenges, the disasters, the crises. There will be good that comes from it. Calm your mind. Then you can think clearly. You can do what needs to be done to take you to the next level and live the life that you were meant to live. Thank you for joining me in this morning mindfulness practice. Enjoy your day. Create a beautiful vision and hold true to that. I'll see you back here tomorrow morning at 7. Thank you.